Hey guys, we are live. Hey, my name is Alex and this is Franchise Talk. We're here for franchise seekers. We're here to help you connect with different franchisors and see the interviews to see if this is going to be the right thing for you, and if these franchisors really have what it takes to be, your leadership and what you want out of franchising. So today we have Tony. Tony is prior Marine, but he's built a major company, and you know what? He's built a fabulous franchise, and the franchise itself is called Opportunity Tax and Insurance Service. But I'm going to turn it over to him. I'm going to let him talk about it a little bit. If you could tell us a little bit more about your company, tell us a little bit about your company, and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot for having us. We're excited about sharing our story and a little bit about what we're doing here at our company. As you stated, I am a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine, and so that kind of sticks around, and we've integrated a lot of the things that I learned while I was in the service into our company, and a lot of the characteristics and traits that you'll see in our company and the business that we have. Those are the things that we learned in the service, and bring it forward to what we're doing today. I started working for myself in 1991. I had spent some time in the Marines, and after my term was up, I went to work for another gentleman. But in 1991, I started a company and started providing tax preparation services initially. It was about the time the IRS started electronic filing, and been very involved with the tax preparation business since then. Continue to offer those services. Offered a very similar program to what our franchise model is now. We've got about 800 locations around the country that allows them to find, of course, a business. It's January to April for the most part. And when we decided to start our franchise Opportunity Tax, we added the insurance segment, and we really wanted to be a service that can provide kind of a one-stop shop for insurance and taxes. And that's what we're doing. That's the service that we're providing. But I really felt like it was a service that we could help consumers, and that's really what we're trying to do, is to help folks. And so we have some other products and services that we provide along the way. We're excited about some of those things, but we know that there's about 144 million folks in the U.S. who file a tax return. More than half of those use the assistance of professional preparers. We're going to assist those that desire that. And there's about 255 million cars in the U.S., and every single one of them has to have insurance. So those are our two core products that we're offering, but we've got a lot of ancillary products we've got along with that.
Awesome. And this is one thing. Where are you guys based out of?
We're just north of Atlanta, a little town called Calhoun, Georgia. We've been here since 1991, and we just keep plugging away here. Calhoun, just north of Atlanta.
Heck yeah! No, I was stationed in Hinesville, Georgia, and it was a base called Fort Stewart. It's out in the middle of a swamp, so it's I'm familiar with the area, and that's awesome. And you guys are close to me. I'm based out of Jacksonville, Florida, so we're not too far away. But let me ask you something. Why did you get into entrepreneurship? Why is it important, and why is it important to be a franchisee, and particularly with your system?
Sure. Yeah, one of the things that I've enjoyed, and I don't want to say I got in business for myself accidentally, but I had a gentleman came in and wanted me to prepare his tax return, and this was in 1988 or 89. I don't remember exactly the year, but I wasn't really preparing taxes. This was before e-file started, and I did his tax return for free. Didn't want to charge him anything. He was a customer of the business I was running, and really it was about helping people. And I helped this gentleman. He was a widower. His return was fairly simple to prepare, but we're all about helping other people, and that's really where I got my business start. And that's the first tax return I did was for free. It's about helping other people, and that's the business that entrepreneurs are able to really get involved with us. It really is. There's so much joy and satisfaction when you can see the success of others, and that's what we're really about here.
Well, that's awesome, because that's what kind of got me into business too. I looked at stepping into business to help veterans specifically at first, and it branched out to something a lot bigger from there. And now we're finally here with Franchise Talk. So I'm very happy to be able to bring service and help to other people, and we're filling a big gap. So I'm proud to have you on the show, and very happy that you gave us some time. I want to talk a little bit more about your company itself. How strong is the business? You mentioned 800 units. Is that, how many of those are franchised, and how many of those are company owned, and what are you looking to do?
Yeah, the 800 units, I've got several businesses. I started with a company that's providing tax assistance. It's a kind of a hybrid franchise. It's not necessarily a franchise, but we provided a service bureau support in the tax industry, and we've been doing that for many years. We didn't franchise out. We didn't do the things that a franchise does, protect territories, but it was a licensing agreement to help folks who wanted to get in the tax preparation business. And so we've been doing that for a long time. About a year ago, we decided to create a franchise model. So we've got 4 franchises this past tax season that started last summer. We've got about 60 franchises that are under contract to open up in the next 2 or 3 years. We've got stores opening the 1st of July, some the 1st of August, but we've got about 60 under contract that will be opening in the next 2 years. We've sold some multi-territory franchises. A couple of investors have bought some areas, and they'll open 10 stores in a 2 or 3 year period. So we're kind of excited about the direction we're headed.
That's impressive. I mean, you're not just a couple units. You've already got scheduled build outs. And if investors are investing, and I'm saying this to you guys who are watching, if investors are investing in large territories, large swaths of territories, that's a green flag. That's a green light. I mean, that's a very, very serious endeavor. So you can't undercut somebody who doesn't have a whole lot of units or even emerging when they have support like that. So keep in mind, if you're seeing investors step in, if you're seeing large territories bought, that's usually a good sign. So
that's been our niche almost. We sold Hillsborough County, Florida, which is Tampa area. Gentlemen or a group of investors that bought that. They're looking at open 20 to maybe 30 franchises. They're going to see how many exactly they can get in that county and what makes sense for them. We sold a 10 territory group in Southwest Atlanta to an investor. So that seems to be our niche. We're seeing investors with a lot of interest coming aboard.
Okay. All right. So since your investors are where you're hitting and where you're finding your niche, what has been some of the good things that you've been able to offer investors? What are some of the highlights that have really made those deals occur?
I think there's a couple of things. First you got to sell them on yourself. Investors, they like to invest in people. And so I think the first thing that the investors have done is they came into our organization. They've got to meet us and know us. I think everybody likes to do business with people they like, and we've got a great team here at Opportunity Tax and Insurance, and that's key. It certainly is extremely important. Certainly, investors are numbers guys, and they want to look at the numbers and see what their returns are going to be, and see when they can recoup their money. Those are extremely important. No matter how much they like you, if your numbers don't make sense, they're not going to pull out their checkbook and buy a large territory. So certainly, we've had to show them what our business model is and share with them what the opportunity with our company is. But we offer a low cost of entry. It costs about $50,000 or $60,000 to open a franchise for us. From the franchise model, that's a fairly low cost of entry for most franchise businesses. And we're offering large territories. One of the things that we wanted to do is when we sold somebody a territory, we wanted the territory to be big enough that we felt like they could support 2 stores, and so, or 2 locations. So it's really a 2-for-1 when you buy one of our territories. We provide, it's about 80,000 population as the territories that we're targeting. And so it's almost a 2-for-1 right now.
Okay, that's awesome. That's a great deal. What is the, as far as owning a single unit compared to the investors, what is the role of the franchisee? Because I know, we're both vets. I've been to Iraq, Afghanistan, you've been out. I talk to a lot of veterans who want to step into something in a professional role. This might be for them, particularly with the low barriers to entry. What is their role in a business like this? A lot of them might want to know that.
Yeah, we provide both spectrums. We have folks who want to come in. In fact, our first 4 were all single operators. They were working in their business. They were running their business. They're owner operators. They're there day to day. So certainly that's an opportunity for a guy who wants, or a lady who wants to do a single store operation. It's a great career. Certainly it's something that the franchisee can do. And then we also offer, as we've stated, the large territories and the multi-unit guys that are coming to us. So it's an opportunity for both. Certainly an individual can come in and run and operate the business and make a really nice living and help folks while they're doing it.
Okay. I mean, that's I love the idea of working for yourself. I get up on my soapbox all the time and talk to veterans and try and promote different vehicles for them to use. We've seen and talked to a lot of veterans across the board as far as startups, using business opportunities, franchises, and even some other methods, some training programs to help them start get into startups or help other people. So to me, being the fact that you're a Marine, you've been a Marine, you are a Marine, and you bring those values into your company. I see a lot of leadership values instilled throughout the company. Is that right?
No, absolutely. And I'll share with you this franchise. We bring a lot of the Marine principles with us. We don't accept every franchise application. I don't want to say the few, the proud, but we certainly screen folks. We want to make sure they're the right fit for us, the right fit for them. This is not about how many units can we sell, how many offices can we open. We don't want to be the largest. We want to be the best at what we do. And so we're very selective in who we allow to bring in. One of the other characteristics too that Marines are famous for is we don't leave anybody behind. We're only as strong as our weakest franchisee, and so our team understands the necessity of making sure that every franchise is taken care of. My motto here at Opportunity Tax and Insurance Services is happy, successful franchisees. That's our goal. That's our mission, is to make sure our franchisees are happy and successful. If they're successful, they're mostly going to be happy, but our goal is to make sure that we take care of our franchisees. And so we're very selective in who we allow to join our team. We want to make sure they're a good fit for us and a good fit for our team. But that's extremely important to us. And certainly we bring those characteristics to the table every day.
Even if you're an investor, if you haven't been in the military before, you're looking at a very strong core, a very strong center to support you. If you're looking at this from a career opportunity, a career transition out of corporate America, think of it like this: imagine the strongest culture you've been in your career, and that's what this is. It's a very strong, tight knit culture, and it's very brotherhood like. So it's a very, very tight knit and woven and very supportive network. That is what he is talking about, and that's what I support when I look at a franchisor. Now, I haven't run across too many veteran franchisors, so this is a unique situation. I love this. So whether you're an investor, whether you're in career transition, trying to figure out what you want to do, and you're looking at a business service, a very strong business service, and it's in a very large demand and growing, this might be for you. So to narrow this down and to narrow and help everybody else narrow down whether or not we can fully engage this, what are you looking for in a franchisee? What are some of the key or core competencies and principles that you're looking for with a franchisee himself?
Well, one of the things that I do, and it's important to me, is I interview every franchisee, and I want to make sure that they're the right fit for us. Veterans are specifically our target. We love targeting and supporting our veterans, and being a Marine and a veteran-owned business, a veteran-owned franchisor, that's extremely important to us. So characteristics of the franchisee is probably more important than any of the financial requirements that they can put on paper. We find the right characteristics of the person we're looking for, and veterans have those characteristics. Folks that don't mind hard work. Anybody that tells you that they have some pixie dust that they can share with you, they'll sprinkle on it, and you'll have a successful business. It's a lie. I can tell you from my own experience, and I started this company in 1991. It's a long grind. It's hard work. It takes dedication and commitment. So when we look at new franchisees, we look for folks who have that desire, who have that drive, who don't mind hard work, who don't mind getting in there and working when they need to. And those are important characteristics. Of course, it takes the financial support to open your own business. A franchise startup costs are somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000, depending on the market and the territory that you're looking to open. It takes about $100,000 to get the business up and going in liquid investment. So, we recommend somebody has $100,000 in liquid capital that's available to invest. But it costs about $50,000 or $60,000, $70,000, depending on if it's an urban area or a rural area to get open. But that's the startup cost, and those things are important to us. But we're not looking for folks who have the cash and check, but we're looking for folks who have the right characteristics to run our business. Certainly, you can't do it without money, but the most important thing is that they're the right fit for us and the right fit for them.
Absolutely. That's what we take people through as franchise brokers. That's why we come into the gig. And that's because, finding the right individual for the right business is almost like finding a house. It's like, taking somebody through and trying to show them a home, or show them the best working. I kind of relate things back to motorcycles and homes and sometimes guns, depending on who the crowd is. But you're looking at and in some cases bottles of wine. It's a funny comparison, but at the end of the day, you're looking at folks who want to make a connection, who are having to hedge their bets on a good system that's going to be able to support them. And at the end of the day, you're only going to be 80 to 90% confident at the end of the day. When you're ready to sign an agreement, you're only going to be 80 to 90% confident, period. The rest of the 10% is all you. It's all drive. It's grit. It's what this guy's looking for. So I understand that very well. And if you're searching for a franchise, understand that off the bat, because at the end of the day, you're the one pulling the trigger and signing the check. So when we're looking at this for an investor side, we've talked about the single unit franchisee a little bit. Let's talk about that investor side again, because I know we'll probably get a few of them that watch. If they're looking at wanting to invest, and your situation, do you have a plan to support an investor for a new unit territories, and how do you go about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when we started this, that wasn't necessarily our intent, that we would, our niche would be with investment groups or guys or ladies who wanted to buy 10 or 20 stores. But as we started making our presentation to folks, it seemed to be that there were some investors that really stepped up to the plate and wanted to get on board. We've been in this business for a long time. I've been in the tax preparation business. We've got a great model that we're developing, and we've got a lot of territories available in the U.S. So I think investors are seeing the real opportunity with us, no pun intended. They see the opportunity with us, and we're seeing those guys are coming on board. We understand the first thing they want to do when they sign their franchise disclosure document, when they sign up to do business with, they want to crunch the numbers and see when they're going to get their return. See what the cash flow is going to be, see how long it's going to take them to get their money back, and see what the value that the brand's going to have. We understand that, and we're certainly prepared to assist those who want to do that.
Okay. So financially, what are you looking at if you want to step in as an investor and you're looking to change over your career, or you're looking at really building a bigger business or adding this to your portfolio? What are you looking at needing?
Yeah, franchise fee is $25,000. The franchise fee gets you a territory that's about 80,000 population. We'll help you select those. You can do the multiples on that. Our franchise fee at $25,000. If you want to buy 10, it's $250,000 to buy 10 territory. 10 territories will support approximately 20 locations. Each of our territories are 2-for-1s, as I call them. But you buy a territory, it's large enough to support 2 of our stores. And so it costs it's just $250,000 franchise fee to get a 10 territory, 20 store operation. And then each franchise operation to start up, minus the franchise fee, somewhere around $25,000 to $40,000. Like I said, it takes about $50,000 or $60,000, including the franchise fee, to get it to start up from day one. So you can do the multiples on that, but about a $25,000 franchise fee is $25,000. About another $25,000 in startup cost from the day you sign the franchise and pay the $25,000. To sign the lease, get the power, electricity, those things turned on, get the signage, the build out. You're looking at another $25,000 to $30,000 or $40,000, depending on the area and the lease in that area.
Well, that makes sense, and that's built out in a schedule, right? You're an agreed schedule.
Absolutely, yeah. Most folks don't want to go in and open 20 stores in 1 year or at that time. So, and we don't advise that, of course. And so we'll build out a schedule for the investor and what they're comfortable with and what we recommend. We'll decide what's best for them, and then we'll develop that plan for them. And that's what we've done with our group in Tampa. That's what we've done in our group, Southwest Atlanta that we've sold. We've got West Georgia sold. So that's the way we do it. We'll develop a plan with them, and you know how it is in the military. Proper plans prevent poor performance, and so we'll put that plan together, and we'll make sure they follow it as best we can.
Well, I heard the acronyms spelled out a little bit differently, but
we'll leave
that one alone.
I cleaned it up for today. That's okay.
No, that's good. That's fine. Oh, but anyway, if you're a veteran out there, you're probably going to get that one. But speaking of veterans and speaking of other guys like us, we talked a little bit ago, and you said you had a mentor kind of coming up in business. You had somebody who's going to be doing something for you. You had somebody to help you through, who gave you a lot of advice and experience, kind of helped you up. You talked to me about doing the same kind of thing. You're talking about wanting to work with a veteran, or establishing a veteran program. What are your thoughts on that?
That's what's really special to me, Alex, and it's something that means the world to me. I can give you a couple of names and a couple of times it happened to me, but I'll share at least one with you. When I got out of boot camp, left Parris Island, I was 9 feet tall and bulletproof, and you know how you feel when you walk off of that graduation deck. When I got back to my recruiter, there was a retired master gunnery sergeant who was just a few days away from his retirement. He gave me a little advice, and it's advice I've carried along the way. He said, when you get to your next unit, he said, find the best Marine there. Do the things that he does. Find him, look him out, find out, and whatever he does, emulate the things and the characteristics that Marine has. And so I actually sought out, I guess, I didn't realize it at the time, I sought out a mentor. As a staff sergeant that he had his stuff together, he was squared away. And when I got there, I did the same things that he was doing. And I learned in life that I may be the hardest working guy in the world, but I may not have all the knowledge necessarily to do the tasks that are at hand. And so there's nothing wrong with seeking out folks who have been there and done that. There's a lot of things, and I'm sure you've seen your share of the world. Not very many things scare you these days, because you can say, hey, I've been through this, or I've been through that. This ahead of me doesn't bother me at all. And there's a lot of wisdom in people who've lived life. And so I seek out mentors and seek out folks, but I want to do the same. I've been in business since 1991. I turned 50 this year. I can share that with some young guys getting out of the service. I can be that mentor as well. And not that I have any special wisdom or any special knowledge, but I've experienced life. I've experienced good times in business. I've experienced tough times in business. It's good to have somebody that's been there and done that, I guess. You mentioned fishing at one point. I love to fish as well. One thing I don't do is I don't get on the boat of a young captain. If I pull up to the dock and the captain, if he doesn't have a lot of salt and gray hair, he doesn't look like he's been out in the sun, I don't get on the boat with him. I want somebody that I get on the boat when the storm comes up, they know how to handle the situation. And in business, it's the same. There's going to be storms, and I just like to share those experiences that I've had when I've come through the ones that we've experienced.
That's awesome. And I had mentorship say very, very similar things. And when you're looking at business, it's exactly the same environment. It is, you've got to be able to shoot, move, and communicate. You've got to be able to be flexible. You've got to be able to have wit and move when you need to. And probably the best thing that I've ever heard, is your, and particularly, this is particularly directed at younger entrepreneurs like myself. Your 20, 30-year-old self needs to take care of your 70-year-old self. Get your butt into gear and make something happen, because you're going to regret it. And I've seen, and I'll be a testament to this. I've seen, and I work with E9s out of the military working gate guard. I've worked with guys who, can finally retire and not have the retirement to suit their needs and their goals and what they want to do in life. They can't take vacations. They can't go on cruises. They can't do any of that. They're back at work. I'm telling you, ownership of something, doesn't matter what, as long as it's bringing in what it needs to do and you're driving forward, you're making things happen. So your 20, 30-year-old self needs to take care of your 70-year-old self. And when your 70-year-old self can't move no more, that finance, those revenue streams, and that ownership in place of a job is what's going to save your behind instead of what's moving forward. Those are the words of encouragement that I was given and that I've seen around, that I really I push on other soldiers who want to transition or think about transitioning at the greatest time of their life. So we talked a little bit about a program. What kind of incentives do you guys give to veterans, people who you want to mentor, bring up? Do you have anything in place for that, or do you have any ideas about in placing something like that?
I think sometimes you just have to wait to experience the opportunity creates itself. But certainly we put some things in place initially. We give a 20% discount on the franchise fee right off the start for any qualified veteran. that meets our requirements. Certainly just like all the requirements, we want to make sure they're the right fit for us and the right fit for them. But we give them a 20% discount on their franchise fee. But more important, and it's hard to describe it unless you're a veteran, unless you've been there and done that, as we say. It's hard to say what that brotherhood's really like. But and I'm not saying that I wouldn't pay special attention to a non-veteran. Certainly, every affiliate, every franchise, every person that works with us, every vendor, everybody's important to the team. No reservations about it. But there's a special place in my heart and in our company's heart for veterans, and so we're going to make sure everybody succeeds as best we can. But certainly, there's a special place for veterans, and I can assure you they'll have one-on-one mentorship from me if they join our team.
Well, that's awesome. And you guys heard it. So I want to be able to thank Tony for everything he's done. He's come on the show. He's been supportive. He's another supportive franchise, backing the new way people find franchises. So thanks, Tony. I appreciate your time and your effort and your service. I really appreciate it. Thanks. And thanks for hopping on Franchise Talk. All right. If you want to. All right. Okay. Well, thanks, guys, for watching Franchise Talk. If you guys have any questions, please hit us up below and in all the comments, and please subscribe to our channel. Share us on social media. We are a social media driven engine, and we are here to help you find opportunity, watch opportunity, and find franchises. Look at them a little bit more uniquely through the eyes and the questioning of other experts in the field, and get that help if you need it. Thanks for watching Franchise Talk. Thanks for watching Tony. And to all our veterans out there, hey guys, you guys got hope. All right, you've seen it. Take it easy. Have a great one.